Welcome to Happy News Network, the Minisode. We're here to brighten your week while you take a break from doom scrolling. I'm Shayna, and I met today's guest a few years ago when we worked on the Norwegian escapes after midnight. David Murray is an activist who created Think Free Threads and Things last year to create fun, simple, and most importantly, thought-provoking apparel. David, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for being here. And I'm so curious. I just need to hear the story again. How does an actor create an apparel company? It's such a unique thing to do.
It is, and I think a lot of actors are looking for other facets or things to work on. But for me, I think like many artists, many creative people, we have many different interests. And with the luxury of our job, we get to work with like costume designers. We get to work with set designers and lighting designers and so many different other areas that it kind of sparks our interest in our creative juices. And so for me, I think the burning desire to communicate and to get messages out, even though I wasn't able to be on stage anymore because of the pandemic, I think I just wanted an outlet to use my creative juices. And I chose some apparel stuff that I have designed and worked with some other people to design.
I love that. And I've always known you to be a good communicator, so that you can figure out how to communicate through clothing is really neat to see too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think especially right now with so much going on, and especially in 2020, there was so much going on that I think as artists, whether we're using other people's words, using music, we have this burning desire to really, really communicate messages to people. And not necessarily to change people's minds, but to kind of have them think freely or think differently or take them on this journey, which is kind of where I came up with the name as well.
I love that. And it's certainly inspiring seeing a Black-owned business created with a mission of elevating, educating, inspiring. What are some of the ways Think Free is helping people achieve all those different goals?
Yeah, and I take a lot of pride in having my own business. I'm not the first in my family. There's a few small businesses in my family, and we all take pride in owning a Black-owned business. And I think most importantly, we want to use our platforms to educate, to elevate, to inspire people. And I think for me, the most popular thing on the site would be our Black Lives Matter stuff. And I think the reason is, with so much happening in 2020, we've all, saw the video and, read the stories of what's happened in injustices with African Americans and minorities in general. I think it's sad to say, but it's so encouraging to be reminded that you matter, as a mom or as a father, just my life matters. And I don't know, I think that that encourages me, it elevates my spirit. And in the apparel, that's what we aim to do.
I love that. And I think I was so privileged that I got to work on a show like After Midnight with an all Black cast for 12 months total. And it was really, I want to thank you and all the other cast members, I guess, for helping open my eyes to some of the ways that I can be a better advocate for helping you feel like you have space and that your space is of value, because every single person on this earth has space and takes up space and deserves to feel that their space is valid. So it was a really great experience to learn that.
Yeah, and I would tell people all the time, why come to the Norwegian Escape? Will come for After Midnight. It was the only all Black show on a ship performing. And it was quite special. And I'm hoping that after all of this, they bring it back, because it showed so much class, so much grace, and just the picture of seeing, all these Black faces for me in these really pristine costumes, and it was amazing. So it's nice that Norwegian gave us that spot.
They did. And we are a group of artists here at Happy News Network, and it's something that we've been challenged by, part of where this podcast came from, is we all work in the arts and art isn't easy. And I was looking through all your different collections on your website, and I thought the Art Isn't Easy collection was so fun to look through because some of those items were inspired by artists who have really shaped the Black art community, and also just fun artsy sayings in general. So you had everything from like Nina Simone to Artists Are Essential. And I just wanted to talk about some of those items and then also some of the more LOL phrases I saw on clothing.
Yes. So I'll first say I have a lot more coming for Art Isn't Easy collection. Some nice famous lyrics, some sayings that, only theater people know, stuff like that. But our newest, which I'm wearing the shirt right now, is our Nina Simone line. And I love Nina Simone. She's one of my favorite artists, performers. A lot of people know Nina Simone for her jazz and her rendition of Feeling Good. But for me, she's the mother of protest songs and songs that are associated with the movement. And in this case, the civil rights movement. And a lot of her art there was a lot of backlash against her because she spoke out against injustices with African Americans. And so her art wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to do what she was doing. And that's what we want to highlight in this collection, that sometimes art just isn't easy. And we will highlight different artists that represent that, like Miss Nina Simone.
Yeah. And I think we're all ready for art to come back because art isn't easy and it helps make the topics that are challenging more palatable because it allows you to see things as not just a black and white issue. Art helps us see the color of things. It helps us see the whole scale of something. So I'm really glad that you've been able to take that and you've been able to put it into a new format.
Yes, and also it's Art Isn't Easy, also from Sun Times, Sunday in Park with George.
Yes.
Our theater people.
Yes, I love that. And we love Sondheim. So so some of the more lighthearted items that you have created include phrases like men with muscles have better cuddles. Where do you come up with the more whimsical items?
Honestly, talking with my friends, barbershop conversations, honestly, and my gym buddies. So I do believe that, in general, just put that out there. But just conversations, things I see on Facebook, family talks, sometimes, we have Zoom with my family. We aren't able to get together, so we have a big Zoom every month, and we just talk about the darndest things. And so some of the light-hearted things come from that.
I love that. And it sounds like that's kind of how you come up with a lot of your new collections and individual items, is this combination of general socializing, which you've had to sort of readjust because of COVID, but also looking around at the world. Is that a pretty fair assessment?
Yes, for sure. I mean, personal experiences, right? Even if it's just walking through New York City right now, which looks completely different than, 2 years ago, really. And so you're just interacting with people, we're just doing everything so different. And and so a lot of things are being inspired by our new norm.
Yeah. I love that you're able to find inspiration everywhere. I think that's the mark of artistry.
Yes, for sure.
Yes. And so you've hinted at it. Do you have any upcoming collections or artistic projects?
Yes. So the next thing, I have a few designers that I'm working with. One of my good friends, Marco, he's going to design a few things coming up. Mostly for Art Isn't Easy. We're going to do some new highlights on poets, poems, and you'll even see some original stuff as well that we're going to feature on some of our apparels and t-shirts and hoodies. And also we got some Mother's Day, Father's Day stuff coming up as well.
That is wonderful. And I love that you've got things to celebrate all different types of groups of people, and everyone can find their voice.
Oh yes, for sure. I mean, I think that's one of the most important things is allowing everyone to think freely with their voice, and
Yeah.
whether it's through apparel, music.
Yeah. And part of the beauty of sort of in our full circle way with After Midnight is that most of your role as the host was getting to recite this beautiful Langston Hughes poetry. So I'm very excited to see some of the
Oh yes,
poetry and the poets that you feature with the new collections.
yes, for sure. That was a huge highlight of the show and one of my favorite parts of the show.
Yeah.
But yes, we're going to be highlighting a lot of wonderful poets. I don't want to name now because
Well, I'll have to stay tuned.
yes.
I love it. David, thank you for being with us today. People who want to learn more about Think Free Threads and Things can go to www.thinkfreethreadsandthings.com. And they can also, is there a social media profile they can go to?
Yes. Yes. So we have Facebook, Instagram, the same name for both.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a wonderful conversation. Thank you.
Thanks, and so good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
From all of us here at Happy News Network, I'm Shayna. Have a happy day.